Hi everybody, MVP here. I'm just going to take you for an introductory walk around the charts as I will play with them on a daily basis. Again, just another way of you getting an idea of what I'm doing and what I'm not doing. Okay, we're just going to have a wander around there and just see if there's anything happening. The first thing I'm going to say to you is a couple of things. Number one, obviously always make sure on the left here is the Dow US 30, on the right here is, well, I'm using the pound US dollar chart. It doesn't matter. The chart is actually hidden. This is the chart, but I've hidden everything using line annotations and various things to hide that. I'm dragging that up. I've got my 80 here and my 20. First and foremost, if you remember, I'm going to right click now here. I'm going to go into the values of this. I talk a lot about resetting charts. It's always essential. I'm pressing the reset there, reset button here. I'm going up here. I'm going to reset that again to 80. I'm going to say OK. Resetting, especially when you load the platform, is important because sometimes the system gets a little bit sluggish. I'm going to come down here to this chart. I'm going to right click there. You can't see me right clicking, but I am. I'm going to click on that to properties. I'm going to press the reset button and reset again and just say OK. Takes a while, but we will come back in a second. There we go. And that just makes sure that my charts on this side are totally up to date. They're totally loaded and I'm not getting any delayed feeds or anything like that. See that just clicked in there? Do that every time you load the platform. It helps. Okay, the 1 minute is a scalping platform. So clearly this is fast and furious. I'm not necessarily scalping today. I'm just looking through. And I'm just giving you an idea of if we're just going to see if we've got any trades on at the moment. I'm going to make this a little bit closer. Okay, so I'm really now getting to see here. Really now starting to get an idea of what's going on. And this is my 1 minute. Okay, very, very quickly through the charts just to give you an idea of have we got trades on or not. As you can see here, US 30 is above both its 20 here and above its 80. So that is indicating the Dow is in a trading position rising. That means I need to be looking for the yen and the US dollar, which are green and yellow here, to be below the line. What's missing? We've actually just gone into signal. Can you see here? Now, remember, I've talked about closing bars. I need the yen there to close this side of the zero for me to think about making a trade in a minute or making a scalp. Okay, if that was the case, and it looks like it is, I would then need to see what's up here. In this particular situation, what have I got above the line that's worth trading? You can see I've got a rising New Zealand dollar there, and I've got also a euro. Can you see the euro is here, both sides? So there's a potential trade. The euro is actually, however, falling. Can you see how it's converging back towards the zero? So that would not potentially be a trade for me. And as you can see now, the yen is moving back across. So it's very, very fast moving. So that's just giving you an idea on the 1 minutes. Okay, let's go up here and let's switch these to 5 minutes. Bear with me while it thinks about it. Bit of a slow system. Okay, here we are on the 5 minutes. Right, on the 5 minutes, go to the left immediately, the US Dow. Look at this, fantastic move earlier today, whatever day it is, I think 15th or 14th or whatever. So we've had a long and extended period of the Dow rising, so that's good. So over here, I'm just going to take this out a little bit. You can see we've also followed that with a long and extended period of the yen and the dollar falling. So we've had some nice trades this morning. So earlier back here, whenever this was, I think this was about 7, 8 o'clock this morning, London session. Can you see the big trades that came on and we would have talked about on the blogs, but you would have made money? Interestingly, you can see that the New Zealand dollar was very active, and we have the euro there active. The yen, the Aussie dollar is active, but can you see the Aussie dollar is coming off of a very, very big fall here, so it didn't become active until much more recently. So in answer to your question, do we have trades on? Yes, we do. We actually have a New Zealand dollar trade on and a euro trade on if we were continuing. Remember, the way we would be looking to exit these is target based, or if any of the lines here went back through the zero. The zero is a very, very key point. Also over here, if the Dow came back here and fell below its 20, again, that's a warning to get out. Okay, and what's that? This is the euro dollar this morning, as you can see, based on what we've been looking at here in terms of the movement of the euro up and all the other things. The euro's had some nice moves. What are we on? 31, 37.20, 37.70. There's about 50 pips this morning in and around. I'm not saying you would have got all of them, but certainly quite a few of them. Okay, we've now switched to the 15-minute charts. Can you see Dow? This is coming now from overnight, from the 14th. The Dow has been, well, it's been very bullish, as you can see, and it just popped up above its 20 there. So again, this is active, and you can see here we've just got into very recently a sell on the yen and the dollar. In terms of active trades at this moment, a little bit picky. Actually, the two trades on, you see that the Aussie dollar is active. You can see the euro is active. The New Zealand dollar here is active, but it's still coming up on the 15s. So there's only two trades on at this moment. And again, as we've evidenced, the euro has certainly been a good move today. So they're the trades on at this moment on the 15-minute. Okay, we're now switching to the hour. Can you see the hour chart come across over here again? The hour is still very aggressive. See the Dow rising aggressively since yesterday, coming through today. So that's a great rise in Dow, which means we're looking for falls below the zero on the yen and dollar. Can you see that that's not in trade? We've got them below here. They're not below here. You see the yen is just fighting that. No trade on the 1 hours. Just to have a chat there. Can you see that there was a trade earlier this morning? You see that they came up here. These guys were very aggressive this morning, but again, because the Dow is above the 80-20, that's no trade. Dow would need to be below here somewhere for those trades. In fact, just looking there, it probably just tucked in. That was that's this morning. No, scrub that. There is no trade there. Okay, let's move on to the 4-hour chart. Here's the 4-hour chart. Much more interesting position here on the Dow. Can you see how the Dow has been quite choppy since early September? This is its move through September. Look at it. I mean, generally a downwards move, but you can see it really has swung backwards and forwards. So at this moment, there isn't actually a trade. It's just peeking its head above the 80. So at that point there, as it gets above successfully, I would be saying to you to look for sells on the Dow and the US dollar. Okay, but it's been a long aggressive rise upwards, and we don't really trade on the 4 hours till it gets above there. You could, if you were trading more aggressively, by all means do it. It's entirely up to you. You could trade naked, or even ignore the Dow and just watch here. But as you can see, the figures here indicate that we are looking to sell the yen and the dollar, get into this area here below the zeros to follow this move, and it's going to take a while yet. Just trying to work with you and see where we did have some trades here. As you can see, I've just condensed this a little bit. As you can see, from about when was that? That was early September. This is September. So 5th of September, you know, the yen and the Dow have been very aggressively upwards. They've been aggressively upwards on the 20 as well. So through September, when did we have situations when you can see we've had a couple of periods here. Here was a period where the Dow was falling. Here was a period where the Dow was falling. We've had a couple of periods where we would have had trades on. Certainly in this area, about the 9th. Where's the 9th? 6th. Around here, potentially some trades in this situation. And again, if you look on the chart, it was really only the euro that offered up a big sell. You see the euro there? It's the only one really that was below the zero. And if you've been following the markets in this early September period, you know the euro's had terrible problems. So that is why. So the 4 hour has revealed some huge trades, just not at this moment. Okay, do you want to go even bigger? We're on the dailies now. Yep, it can do it all. We're on the dailies now. If you want to step back and not trade intraday, just get into the daily charts and pop in every day and see whether you want to make trades. Obviously, this means you've got much lower pip bets, because remember, each bet or each trade we make is only 2% of your capital base, so you'd have much wider stop losses on these kind of things, and trading hundreds of pips really as spread on this kind of thing. So let's see what we got. Okay, I'm just going to focus in again for a second. Let me just press my highlight here. I'm just going to. Can you see we're obviously in trade here? If you look at this, if we look at just the yen and the dollar, can you see that they came up here? This was probably around the 2nd of September. The daily signal. Do you see the US dollar coming in there? And let's see what was going on here. We'll be looking to trade. Now you can see that whilst the Dow has been falling, which would support a rise in yen and dollar, you have to be very careful as to when to trade this. Come on, just get this to click on now. Right. Okay, just looking through this. So we had a signal here probably around the 2nd of September. Where are we here? 2nd of September. Can you see this signal here interacted with as these guys came through? So this was based just as you came through here. So there was a trade on. That's the 4th. That's the 2nd. It was, unfortunately, I got to be honest with you, it was falling. I'm not sure, it was very marginal call there as to whether the Dow was in trade. But again, sometimes it's up to you to take your own view on something. I mean, personally for me, I would have been more happy to take the trade here by the 4th. Here's the 7th. So anything in this region is fine with me. And let's see what we had at those points. We had the pound that was below. We had the Swissy. I don't trade the Swissy. I read my study blogs. It's up to you. You could have traded the Swissy very successfully. They're selling it against the yen and the dollar. I don't tend to. And we clearly had the euro there as well, which we've talked about already on the 1 hour and the 4 hours. And just to whet your appetite further on just how wonderful things like trading the dailies seems, if we were looking to trade around the 2nd or the 3rd, there was the 4th of September there on the euro dollar, which I've just said was a signal. So there it was there, and it's actually still in trade. Can you see here? The euro is still below the line, and the guys here are still above the line. And yes, this is a warning, but remember, as I said, if you read my study blogs, you'll see that, or watch my videos, you'll see that I don't pay too much attention to the Dow. To me, it's just a warning. It doesn't necessarily mean I've got to come out. I tend to follow the crossovers here as I come out, so I'll be still in trade, or potentially still in trade, or certainly taking a profit. So this is where we entered all the way down here. That's about 4,150. This came down to 3,550. Unless my calculations are bad wrong, that's 600 pips that was available there just on trading the euro against the yen and the dollar. Remember, if you trade the yen as well, the euro yen, you'll be making money as well. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. This is MVP signing off. That was a quick run through the markets to see what was happening and what wasn't happening, and where the 80-20 was signaling and where it wasn't. Okay, hopefully more of these videos to give you an idea of what I'm doing. And all the best. Cheers. Bye.